Starting with Earth 616, Marvel's OG timeline where nearly every iconic comic event takes place. Unlike DC's proud Earth 1, 616 wasn't meant to feel special. It was just one world among many. And here's where things get messy. In 2008, Marvel officially designated the MCU as Earth 199999, and that made perfect sense. Different continuity, different arcs, different rules. But then Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness came along and called the MCU Earth 616. And now we've got a contradiction. If Earth 616 is where the comic stories happen and the MCU clearly changes those stories, like how Tony Stark dies in Infinity War but in the comics he's still alive today, can they really be the same universe? Now, Earth X is a whole different beast. It all starts when Black Bolt accidentally releases Terrigen Mist into the atmosphere, a mysterious gas left behind by ancient Kree technology. The result is Terrigenesis. It awakens dormant powers in anyone with even a trace of inhuman DNA. On Earth X, everyone ends up mutating and humanity as we know it dies, replaced by a world of mutants and monsters. But the newfound power doesn't bring peace, and instead society crumbles. The old heroes become broken shadows of themselves. Captain America, once a symbol of hope, is a weary relic, dragging his shattered shield through a fractured nation. Spider-Man has vanished into retirement, haunted by the death of his own daughter. Iron Man hides in isolation, building robotic armies in a desperate bid for control. And then the worst part of Earth X, Earth isn't a planet in this universe, it's a sleeping celestial egg. All those powers, all those mutations, they're not miracles of evolution. They're immune defenses. The planet's way of protecting the cosmic god growing inside of it. The entire world is a living organism defending itself. Even Uatu the Watcher, the silent observer of Earth's fate, has been blinded, unable to witness the apocalypse. Marvel's Zombies sounds like a joke until you actually read it. It all begins when a zombified sentry crashes into Earth 2149, spreading a plague called the Hunger. This outbreak isn't random, it's part of a horrific time loop that the Watcher helplessly observes. But instead of turning heroes and villains into mindless walkers, they stay fully conscious. They remember who they are, they feel the guilt, and they still end up eating people. Fast forward a little bit, and eventually they eat Galactus, absorb the power cosmic, and become zombie god that travel across the multiverse, eating planets one by one. Age of Apocalypse is one of the most iconic alternate timelines in Marvel history. It all began when Legion, the unstable schizophrenic son of Professor X, travels back in time to kill Magneto in hopes of ensuring his father's dream of peace. But in a twist of irony, he accidentally kills Xavier instead. That one moment creates a universe with no Charles Xavier, no X-Men, and no resistance to evil rising. Apocalypse sees this opportunity and conquers the world. Magneto, stricken with guilt and desperate to honor Xavier's memory, forms his own X-Men to fight back. But this is a darker, more violent resistance. Cyclops only has one eye and works for the enemy. Wolverine loses a hand. Beast becomes a twisted bioengineer obsessed with cruel experiments. Nightcrawler teleports enemies into solid objects. Sabretooth is now a good guy. Every character is warped, reimagined, and put through moral hell. Bishop, one of the few who remembers the original timeline, fights to restore reality. Eventually the timeline is reset, but the scars of Age of Apocalypse never truly disappear. Earth 2099 throws us into Marvel's cyberpunk future. Corporations control everything and governments are gone. Heroes are long dead or replaced and society worships brands and gods. Miguel O'Hara, a brilliant geneticist, accidentally rewrites his own DNA, becoming Spider-Man 2099. He's got talons, venomous fangs, night vision, and a suit made from unstable molecules. Meanwhile, the Doctor Doom of this universe comes back and becomes the President of the United States. Thor runs a literal cult. Mutants are hunted and locked away, and massive corporations like Alchemax run society like dictators. The Ultimate Universe, or Earth 1610, was Marvel's big experiment in the early 2000s. The pitch was simple. What if we restarted everything from scratch for a modern audience? No old continuity, just clean reimaginings of classic characters. It actually started off strong. Ultimate Spider-Man by Brian Michael Bendis was a masterclass in serialized storytelling. Nick Fury was redesigned to look like Samuel L. Jackson, which eventually led to him playing the role in the MCU. The Ultimates, Marvel's new version of the Avengers, were turned into morally gray, government-backed superweapons. But things got wild fast. Hulk ends up eating people, and then came the Maker, the twisted Mr. Fantastic of Earth 1610, who didn't just want to reshape his universe, he created an entirely new one to replace it. However, this new world was his puppet show. The Maker eliminated all other superheroes he couldn't control, even killing most of the Fantastic Four, sparing only the new Mr. Fantastic of Earth 6160, his new world, who turned into a heroic, good version of Doctor Doom. In this new reality, the Maker preemptively stopped many hero origin stories, like killing the spider that was meant to bite Spider-Man, ensuring only the heroes he could manipulate exist. Most of these controlled superheroes now rule as leaders of new countries in this world. Earth 6160. A small resistance led by young Iron Man, the good Doctor Doom, Thor, and Lady Sif fights to restore the time. They manage to rescue Captain America from the ice before the Maker can find him, along with a container full of superhero origin files, including the dead Spider the Maker killed. And at the end of the last issue, this new world of superhero leaders destroy part of New York City and frame young Iron Man for it. From Earth 616 to the Ultimate Universe, Marvel's multiverse has endless potential. And I hope you enjoyed hearing about some of Marvel's greatest universes.